This is Let's Talk Call-In Radio. It's on the air community forum, believes your voice matters and welcomes all thoughts and views without judgment. Please join today's conversation by calling 415-663-8492 or 8317. And your hosts today, it's just me, Paul Raphael, and
me, Shelley Rugg.
There you are. Shelley's at the controls. And when you do call in, 415-663-8492 or 8317, wait until you hear Shelley say you're on the air, and then turn down your radio, give us a name, and please watch your language. This is Thanksgiving after all. Act as if you're around your grandma. Well, I don't know. Some grandmas are not that picky, but anyway. So today, of course, we're talking about something lighter than usual. Normally, we're all about big, heavy subjects, and today we're talking about Thanksgiving. And we'd love to hear from you what your plans are for the day. What are you going to have for Thanksgiving dinner? Why not talk about that? What does Thanksgiving mean to you? Are there any religious connotations? Does it make you feel more patriotic? Is it just a secular holiday that anyone can join in? It's just an American holiday today. I mean, Canada already did theirs.
Oh.
When was that? A month ago or 2 months? 2 weeks ago? Something like that.
I see.
Yes. So Thanksgiving.
Thank you for shining a light on all the lovely, beautiful aspects of Thanksgiving.
This lovely myth we have.
I mean, unfortunately, there are some downsides. There can be to Thanksgiving. And so, feel free to share some of your fun family stories.
Yes, please.
That year what happened?
Well, and yes, so, give us a call. Give us a call on Thanksgiving Day just to wish us happy Thanksgiving. If that's all you want to do, that would be lovely. Just to let us know that you're there while you're basting the turkey or putting the tofurkey under foil or whatever.
Popping those cranberries.
Popping the cranberries.
That's what's fun about making cranberry sauce is
popping them?
The cranberries start to pop as you cook them.
As you boil them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
We once thought about moving to Oregon and buying a cranberry bog.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
what made you have that thought?
Obviously, we didn't.
You're still here, but what pulled you towards the cranberry bog?
I don't know. It seemed like a kind of a nice way to, a nice thing to do. Have a farm and to have cranberries floating around in the bog and go out every year and just scoop them all up. Turns out most of those bogs are full of pesticides and like everything else. Okay, never mind.
Well, we do have a caller, and caller, you are on the air. What's your name?
Oh, my gosh, this is David calling.
Hello, David.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, a happy Thanksgiving to you all as well.
Thank you.
Something that I am very thankful for, we all have to be thankful for, is being able to walk outside our houses and breathe.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, thanks. I mean, 10 days of being cooped up in a cabin or a mansion, whatever you live in, and putting a mask over my face, holding my breath, doing whatever I could to not take in that nasty air outside.
Yeah.
Suddenly being able to have the doors and windows open and fresh air and...
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's such a beautiful day today. Absolutely.
Well, it was such a contrast going from zero, not being able to go outside at all, and then suddenly, hey, we're free again.
Yeah.
It makes me appreciate the fact that we can actually breathe on this planet.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, still.
Yeah.
For a little while more. Yeah, and thankful that we have not undergone any cataclysmic natural disasters lately. around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot to be thankful for in this little piece of land we're living on here.
Well,
Especially
I just want to give you one of them, so carry on.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, David.
Have a great one.
Have a good day.
Later. Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah, give us a call, 415-663-8492. It's just us, and we're just here to give Professor Cosmo a break because he's been on all night and all day, and he's going to be on all afternoon until about 8:30, when I think maybe Anthony and TK2 will be here for off the cuff, but otherwise it's Cosmo all day for your Thanksgiving Day.
Except for us, we're here and we have a caller on the air. What's your name? Oh, and turn down your radio.
Yes, I just turned it off.
Thank you.
It's Susan Dykser. Happy Thanksgiving.
Hi, thanks for calling.
And I'm so glad I get to listen to the show. Thursday is usually my busy day at work, so I never get to listen.
Right.
But I know you do wonderful topics and deep thoughts. And thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all you do, too.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome.
Very thankful for senior services and community services and everyone who's looking after us all.
Exactly. All community-minded people. And the thing is, I don't think Thanksgiving is a religious holiday. I think it's a spiritual holiday because it's universal. We all have so much to be thankful for. I could go on, but David's call reminded me of that Laura Nero song, You Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone. And, when the air was not good, oh my goodness.
Yep.
Did I come to appreciate the beautiful air we have most of the time?
Oh, yeah.
And so this is the first year in 47 years that I haven't made Thanksgiving at my house. Because our family has grown so that it outgrew my space.
Okay.
So going to my cousin's house in Mill Valley, where there are going to be cousins from Colorado and New York and here, and it's just going to be so much fun. And I'm making a turkey now. She wanted to try a smoked turkey. Turkey's my thing. I love it. I'm good at it. And I usually make a couple of 20-pounders for the crowd we had here.
Oh, wow.
And so this year, she wanted to try smoked turkey. So I just got a little 15-pounder, and I put it, and I miscalculated. I thought I was going to be late, but I just went to baste it, and it's practically done.
Oh, wow.
And dinner's not till 2 in Melville.
So you have a smoker there at your house?
No. She bought a smoked turkey.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. So you're roasting a smoked turkey. Yeah.
No, I'm roasting a regular turkey.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, got it.
Because it's my thing: the turkey, the gravy, all the stuff.
All right.
So anyway, but it's the main thing that I love about this holiday is to remind people to be thankful for what you have, and then you're a happy person.
Yes. That's a lovely, and that is the whole spirit of the holiday, that's for sure.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Susan. I'm glad you were able to call in today, and be careful on the freeway. There will be crazy people out there.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that one. Okay, take care.
Right, well, enjoy the new experience.
Thank you. Yes, it'll be fun.
Good. All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
415-663-8492 or 8317. Give us a call. Tell us how you're spending your Thanksgiving Day. What's on the menu? Hey, you vegans out there, what are you going to do? Are you huddled by yourselves somewhere?
Hey, are you painting some kind of dark picture of veganism?
No. I mean, how can you be around Thanksgiving dinner if you're, smelling all that roasting meat and stuff? It must be very difficult for someone who's.
Well, yeah, I have some vegan friends, and we've talked about, how do you deal with a communal meal when not everyone's vegan, and.
bring your own stuff.
Well, right. A lot of people do bring food to share at Thanksgiving, and so it's a perfect opportunity to bring some awesome, beautiful vegan dish that you can eat plenty of and you can share with others.
And you can actually show people that it's edible.
It can be just as yummy as anything else. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's all how I guess it depends on the cook.
Yeah, well,
right.
Yeah.
Who's doing the cooking? That'll make a difference.
Right.
So many of us have been to big banquet dinners, and they have a vegan or a vegetarian option.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just a pile of steamed vegetables that haven't been seasoned at all, nothing done to them.
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah, pasta.
Pasta. For the gluten-free among us, not a good choice. Anyway, yes, give us a call, 415-663-8492. We're going to a house halfway into Petaluma where there are going to be 30 people.
Oh, wow, that's a large group.
And a very poignant day, this Thanksgiving Day. We're going to the house of the widow of a man who died on Thanksgiving Day 2 years ago. And so it's always, there's always a bittersweet component to it.
Is there a story there that is worth telling?
Yeah, it's very sad. He was. They were actually visiting our neighbors in Marshall, and we were over there enjoying the day, and realized that her husband was. We hadn't seen her husband. He'd gone up to take a nap upstairs, and yeah, it was very sad. He was up there. Upstairs, so
So when everyone was gathered for Thanksgiving, he went up and passed away.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Very, very a sad day, but wonderful that that his widow is alive and well and has moved up here, so we can get to see her more often.
Nice.
Yeah, and so much to be thankful for, of course. Thankful for friends and love in our lives, and for the next call.
Oh, we have a caller.
And what a wonderful day! And look at the weather; it couldn't be more perfect.
It is glorious today. All right, caller, you are on the air. What's your name?
Sally.
Hi, Sally.
Charla.
No. I'm thankful for you co-hosting the show, Miss Shelley.
Oh, thank you, Sally.
I like hearing your voice.
Hey, what am I chopping?
Even though I'm all stuffy.
Yeah, but I kind of am fascinated. Like I wanted to call and say, do you have a little cold, or do you have? Is this a reaction to all the smoke? Are you okay? But you sound a little sultry today.
Oh yes, darling.
Oh, you've been to spy school.
Yes.
Well, I wanted to say that I am thankful for, not to be a complete mouthpiece, but I am thankful for KWMR. It's been a lovely place to be, with which to be affiliated.
Yeah.
Since I think 2001 for me, and it's just meant a lot to me to have. To build relationships through that community and to be able to be on the air. It's just a lot of fun, and I've learned a lot. But also, I wanted to build on something that Susan said when she called about the first time in many years of not doing Thanksgiving.
Right.
My first time of not being with... This is my first time in, I don't know, I guess 30 years or something of not being with my kids, or one of my two kids, on this holiday.
Wow.
Because both my children are now living in L.A. as of a couple of days ago. And they are adult children, and they're having their own Thanksgiving. Which is like a really huge deal. Like it talk about that word you brought up, Paul, bittersweet. It is also bittersweet, of a lighter nature, of course, than losing our dear friend 2 years ago, which was terrible, terrible loss of a wonderful, beautiful person, actually. But bittersweet in the sense that I feel like I've handed over, I've moved into the slot of the elder or something, and they have moved into the slot of being the adults who are going to start their own families, presumably.
And then that slot could shift again.
It could.
Yeah.
Everyone could come back home.
That's right. It can happen.
There'll always be a place.
Back to Grandma's house.
How can they have lives of their own? That's just wrong.
Or, as my mother would say, you'll be sorry when I'm gone.
Oh, dear.
Guilt with a capital G. So no guilt on Thanksgiving.
No.
Yeah.
And also a lovely time to think about being so charitable to people in need, especially now. We have so many displaced people who not only are just displaced, but they have, what we take for granted, toothbrushes and toothpaste and our favorite, moisturizer and clothes, our favorite sweaters, whatever. They don't have any of it. It's all ashes.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking of the people who have been rendered homeless and or gravely injured, or they've lost loved ones.
Yeah, so much loss of some kind. Yeah.
Yep. And the ones who are in tent cities or living in tents right now are now dealing with the rain, which is helping with putting the fire out, but
making it muddy for them.
Hey, what a Thanksgiving for them. I'm sure they're grateful themselves that they're still kicking, but.
Yeah, what a thing to have to go through, and having to really work on your perception of things, your way of thinking about it, so that you can, stay grounded enough to get through it and get,
a lot of them
get your life back.
Are seniors. I mean, it was there were a lot of senior citizens living in those communities up there.
I know. I was thinking if it was me, I have a lot of friends and family out there that I feel like I could go to if I came upon such a devastation. But then I realized there's plenty of people that don't have that.
Yeah.
They don't have people in their lives. They're very isolated. Like you said, a lot of seniors that maybe, one of their spouses died and they're just living alone with the cat, So to rebuild a life that, like that's just, how do you do it,
Well, I mean, in terms of where we're going for Thanksgiving, this woman who is relatively newly widowed that Paul was talking about, she and her late husband were, she still is, very, I would like to say her definition of family is quite expansive. And that is, I think that's a nice way to look at this day as well, to be invited into the home and into the community of other people who, embrace you and welcome you. That's really very sweet, so that it isn't just literally kinfolk or it's a redefinition of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's expansive, and so what is family? And, America's kind of, the whole nuclear family thing. Remember that? I still don't understand why you have to say nuclear and family, and family values has felt like an exclusive thing that was dictated by blood relatives and in-laws. But I think I like that it's more expansive.
Yeah, well
it's
she and her husband were wonderful people, and they have a huge circle of friends that are family to them. Yeah, it's a really great testament to them.
Yeah.
Lovely. Because I don't have family here, but I have a lot of friends, and I have a wonderful, beloved person with whom I live, and so that's a wonderful thing to be thankful for.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for this show, and I will jump off so someone else can call.
All right.
Thank you, Charla.
Have a beautiful day. Bye.
415-663-8492. Let me just read
what you got there, Paul?
the menu. This holiday, this day really is about food. And how did it come to be that way? It's interesting. I mean,
you wrote about
first one, what they call the first one. But
the Thanksgiving feast was a celebration of conquering. It seemed from your story, it was kind of like we conquered.
Well, they did that later, but
so we had a Thanksgiving feast.
The settlers that came over, the ones who started Plymouth anyway. Jamestown earlier, I think, was more a secular bunch, but the Plymouth colony were they call them Puritans. They were separatists and Calvinists, and they actually left. They were in Holland, apparently, and then they left there because they didn't want to get assimilated into the Dutch culture. They wanted to remain separate from all cultures, and they'd been driven out of England because,
of their nasty attitude.
Just kind of a pain. And they came over, and there were, of course, adventurers with them, which meant, I guess, like soldiers and
if I understand,
and the sea and the crew. But it was really a harvest festival, right? It was really a harvest, thanking God for the bountiful harvest, which they would not have had it not been for the tutelage they received from the local Native Americans, including Squanto, who talked English.
Wow, yes, because he had been previously kidnapped.
Yes.
Learned English.
Yes.
Oh, shoot.
Sold into slavery in Spain, actually.
Oh, I know. I was going to say, so it sounds like you're saying that this group of individuals, what was their ethnicity?
They're English.
They were English.
Yeah.
But nobody wanted them, and they kept
nobody wanted them in England.
And then they landed here?
Yeah, they went to Holland, and then they came back to England to get on the Mayflower, basically, and head out.
Oh dear! Well, that explains a lot.
Steps. They left from Plymouth and they arrived on the East Coast, and they called it Plymouth. They're not a very imaginative bunch. Yeah, let's put it that way. No, they had a hard time. They actually came to around Cape Cod. Cape Cod, the Indians at Cape Cod, the Native Americans at Cape Cod, had already met and dealt with thieving
Englishmen.
White people who came there, shiploads of people, of sailors and adventurers and explorers came there to Cape Cod earlier, 1607, somewhere around there.
Okay.
And they were hungry by the time they got there, so they went ashore and looked for game to shoot and all that, and they found these mounds that had been left behind because it was wintertime. They arrived during the winter or late fall. The Native Americans had moved inland away from the storms, but they'd left mounds, and some of the mounds contained food that they'd stored for when they came back. So these guys, of course, the English come over and they say, "Oh, look, food," and they took as much as they could ashore. Back to the boat. Back to the ship. Also, they found mounds that were actually burial mounds, and they looted those as well.
Oh, my gosh.
So the Cape Cod Native Americans the tribes there had already met and did not want another bunch of these guys coming. So when the Mayflower arrived off course, got to Cape Cod, the Pawtuxet, I think it was Squanto, what's his actual name? Anyway, that was his shortened name was Squanto. His tribe lived there, and that's how he'd been kidnapped by an English sea captain, along with 20... Oh, they'd also taken... they took like 30 of this tribe. When Squanto was kidnapped, it was with 25 others of his tribe. They just took them, and they sold them into slavery in Europe, Spain.
So it's just bizarre.
It's an awful thing. So then here comes Mayflower.
Decides they're just pushing their way through life.
Well, that's that's Europeans,
Yeah.
And then along comes the Mayflower, and they see them, and they say they brandish their bows and arrows and the Mayflower decided, well, we're not too welcome here. So they actually were trying to get further south anyway. And they ended up at Plymouth, moored off Plymouth. And they stayed on the ship, mostly, for the entire winter. Half of them died, scurvy and malnutrition.
Oh, my gosh.
Lack of water. And then they came ashore and started building the settlement. And that's when Squanto comes along. And the old saying is that the first words that were spoken between the English settlers and the Native Americans was a Native American saying, "Got any beer?"
Oh, my gosh.
He could speak English. He'd made his way to London, found a way to get back with the Hudson Bay Company to Newfoundland, and found his way back down to his home territory, where he found that his tribe had been basically wiped out by European disease.
Oh, my gosh.
And so he ended up with the Wampanoag tribe further south. There you go.
That's quite a story. Woo! But I would like to...
We are very thankful for our underwriters.
We are thankful for the underwriters, and we're thankful for KWMR, of course. KWMR in Point Reyes Station. We're sponsored by our listener members and by City Sewer Pumping, family-owned and operated by Butch and Mike Giamona. I hope I said that right. Giamona, serving the West Marin area since 1951, providing complete septic services, including septic pumping, installations, repairs, and inspections. More information on their website, citysewerpumping.com, or on their Facebook page. Also reachable by phone at 415-663-1926. That's 415-663-1926. Hey, have you ever checked out KWMR's full programming schedule? It's online at kwmr.org, and printed copies are also available at all 4 West Marin Library branches: Stinson, Bolinas, Inverness, and Point Reyes Station. Freshly updated radio guides are delivered to the libraries at the top of each month. Just ask your friendly librarian to point you to the program guide kiosks. This project funded by Friends of Bolinas, Stinson Beach Libraries. And you're listening to Let's Talk Call-In Radio, and we're talking about Thanksgiving, a little of the history, a little of sharing what you're thankful for, or what are you having for Thanksgiving, whatever moves you.
Give us a call, 415-663-8492. So historically, without Squanto and without the Wampanoags, and Squanto being the intermediary peacemaker between the two, between the settlers and the local tribe, they would not have survived there again, and yet they did. And so the Thanksgiving in 1621, they celebrated the harvest that they had been able to reap thanks to help from Native Americans. They had a 3-day feast. The Wampanoag tribe brought 5 deer, apparently, and there's no mention of turkey at all.
Okay.
Even though they were around, of course, but I guess maybe there was better eating. So, for example, lobster, which was thought of as a terrible thing to eat for a long time, became a luxury much later. But this was just survival food, right? Ew, why would you want to eat that?
And then bugs of the sea, I know.
Lobster, seal, and swans were on the menu. And lots of corn, of course. And not sure about yams. I'm not sure if that was even them. Maybe they were. So they were celebrating
the harvest.
It was a harvest festival, really, and they called it, they were giving thanks to God. It is a religious holiday, really.
In that way, yeah.
Thanks to God for their bountiful harvest and for helping them survive another year. And, but really, it wasn't, it was the locals. Otherwise, they wouldn't have survived. Being the helpless people they were. And then, 20 years later,
They wiped out the...
Well, not the same people, but in other parts there were more settlers came. They heard reports from Plymouth, what a wonderful place it was, such a bountiful soil and air and wonderful, lots of water, and so over they came. I mean, more Europeans coming, more soldiers, more people who wanted free land, and they
just wanted to
they didn't see any fences, therefore it wasn't anyone's land, so therefore they could use it. By Thanksgiving, there was a Thanksgiving when in 1637 where these other settlers down in what is now Groton, Connecticut, slaughtered an entire tribe and kicked their heads around in the street because, it's what you did. And they had a Thanksgiving celebration for that massacre, and that kind of continued, apparently, down through the settling era, where they'd give thanks to God for helping them be triumphant over the local savages.
Right.
And then everyone was having Thanksgivings all the time over different things. George Washington finally says, hey, we just won a war against the Brits. Let's have a Thanksgiving Day for that, and let's not worry about
all these little victories.
So he decreed Thanksgiving being a holiday, but it didn't become a national holiday until I think Lincoln during the Civil War. So he decided it was going to be the fourth Thursday in November.
Yeah, it's
after some battle had happened.
It's hard to hear the truth.
Well,
sometimes, it's hard to hear the truth when really we've all been, as I speak as a Californian, went through the public school system. We were basically lied to about what really happened. And, so to hear the truth can be really hard to take in, and it can kind of put a dent in the joy.
Well, see,
so how do you deal with that?
Out of terrible things come good things sometimes, right?
Yeah,
I mean, not for the Native Americans. How are they celebrating? They're celebrating harvest, like everyone does harvest, like we do in Europe still. We still have harvest festival celebrations, mostly religious ceremonies and things. And but we have autumn festivals where it's the old autumn festivals that everyone used to have, including Native Americans. But no, it's become a wonderful, inclusive sort of day with family and loved ones, which is a wonderful thing. It's become secular. I mean, it wasn't secular. It was a thanking God for the bounty and for saving us. But it's become a national holiday that really has nothing to do with anyone being miraculously born or dying or
no specific
being tortured to death or
story from the Bible that it's but okay, so I think, wasn't it Susan talking about it being more of a spiritual thing,
right?
And there's a lot of people who embrace the spirituality of nature itself, and that we're all part of that nature, that we're all a piece of that puzzle that makes life here happen. And we can celebrate that. And then I know that there are some people whose religion makes that somehow not a good thing, that it's like paganism. That you're worshiping nature is somehow a bad thing, and I don't know.
It kind of goes with the capitalist system too, doesn't it? It's all resources. It's not nature. It's all resources. The Forest Service wasn't built to save the forest. It was built to use them. That's what it was created for. It's all resources. But we're a rapacious species.
Yeah, I guess I would think about what's Thanksgiving in my family. And it's definitely about the food.
Yeah.
There's certain things that you expect to see on the table. If you go to Grandma's house or if you go to Aunt Barbara's house, you might see different food. And I came from a family of divorce. And so, my mom was always trying to get everybody back together for Thanksgiving, which was almost always a very disastrous Thanksgiving situation.
Oh, dear.
But, she tried. But sometimes, there would be Thanksgiving at Mom's, Thanksgiving with Dad, Thanksgiving with the in-laws, Thanksgiving with the other. And, I remember having to go to more than one Thanksgiving meal in a day.
Oh.
And having to figure out how to manage that.
Right, yeah.
I want to have a little taste of everything. So you have like one little scoop of everything on your plate. Wow. So you don't get so full that when you go to the next house, you can't eat, And you might weigh it out, well, who's cooking? Do I really want to eat? I will save myself for that meal.
Save myself for Grandma's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
We had interesting things on Grandma's table that I never see is pickled watermelon rinds.
Huh.
She would put out a dish of those. If you've never had one, they're the sweetest. They're like soaked in, simple syrup, and they're tangy and sweet and intense.
Still crunchy.
A little bit, not hard. No, you can bite into them. They're tender. She also had put out spiced peaches.
Ooh.
And then at Thanksgiving, we all got some Graber olives. I don't know. They were in taste very similar to a black olive, but the texture was a little softer, and they were gray with little speckles on them. And, but they were just so good.
Huh.
That was what we'd get at Thanksgiving is some Graber olives.
Give us a call, 1-415-663-8492. Thanksgiving memories or expectations or... Boy, Thanksgiving with the family. Sally was saying that which is lovely now, that her two children are close to each other in kind of central LA. That's a wonderful thing for them. How
they're doing their own thing.
Starting a new tradition. Yeah. I mean, they just the daughter just moved down there, so just like this week. So
wow.
So that's lovely. But of course, bittersweet. But yes, and then there's children. I mean, they haven't got children yet, but oh my gosh. The world. Anyway, I guess I'm kind of thankful that I was not a father. I'm very thankful to all the wonderful, strong, loving women that were in my life that made it possible that I did not become a father because I'm a terribly irresponsible person, and I'm not sure that I would have made a great father. And also,
it's hard for me to imagine that, but
I'm kind of glad that I'm out of here in about 20 years, maybe.
You've had enough.
Well, this is not going to get easiher.
Oh, dear.
Man.
Oh.
Anyway, Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Wonderful day. It's a lovely day. Look at this menu.
Oh, okay.
There are 30 people, bringing stuff.
Oh, so this is what everybody's assignment is for the potluck Thanksgiving?
Crudité, a cheese plate, cheesecake, cookies, pie, deviled eggs with smoked salmon and caviar. Oh, my goodness. Green bean casserole, lamb kebabs and Brussels sprout salad, turkey gravy stuffing, apple pie, pumpkin pie, turkey with trimmings, cranberry compote, green salad, mashed potatoes, of course, vegetable and Brussels sprout salad, and dessert, pecan pie. Oh, how about lima bean succotash? Hey. Roast vegetables, cranberry horseradish mousse, scallop potatoes, sweet potatoes, bread and cheese. Wow. Now that is a feast.
I say. What are you bringing?
We're going to be bringing a big salad or two, and also some what's it called? Not sweet potato. Acorn squash.
Oh, nice. Hey, look at that. We've got a caller. Wow. Caller, you were on the air. What's your name?
This is Colleen and Fred.
Colleen, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're actually in Berkeley, but so what I'm thankful for is basically Marshall, period.
Oh.
You know, it's, I mean, here in Berkeley, we don't know anybody. And, you know, we've lived here forever and ever, but, you know, it's just, that's Berkeley. You don't know anybody. But in Marshall, I feel like we really have found a wonderful community. So I'm thankful for the community of Marshall. And, of course, tamales, because some people live in tamales now.
Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you. Yeah, Marshall is a very friendly spot at times like this.
So I want to just a quick little. You said earlier about Thanksgiving memory. I remember when my kids were little, and my brothers and sisters lived in San Diego, and their kids were little and stuff, and we had like a Thanksgiving dinner at our place in San Jose. And then, it was actually after we moved to Santa Clara. But anyway, it was just like we had people sleeping everywhere. I mean, the kids slept in the bathtub, and my brother brought his motor home, and they slept there. And we just had, I think we were 30 or 32, just with the family.
Just family.
And just sleeping everywhere and just having a blast.
Wow. Yeah, wonderful.
That was kind of what came to my mind, that... but my kids are coming today, but of course they're no longer little. They're bringing their young ones. So.
All right.
Well, that'll be lovely.
So anyhow, enjoy, have a great time, and say hi to George and Austin.
We will. Thank you, Karen, and happy Thanksgiving to you both.
Love
have
you.
fun.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I mean, the upside and downside of family.
Right.
Uncle Ted, not always in good shape on such occasions.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, there was one Thanksgiving that I had a major falling out with my brother. Well, my brother had a major falling out with basically me and my dad.
Oh, dear.
That year. And I can reflect back that I kind of know why. He was under a lot of stress, and somehow we, were the target. But I really I did not speak to my brother for the entire year until the following Christmas, after the next Thanksgiving.
Oh, dear.
He came to me and said, "Hey, I'm really sorry for how I acted." But that was, Thanksgiving. And it was a Thanksgiving that I first brought my dad up here to live with me. And it was striking that he did not seem to recognize the Thanksgiving meal, that the situation, all the people around the table, the type of food. I mean, it was all the classic stuff, right? You got the turkey and the stuffing and the gravy and the mashed potatoes and the sweet potatoes and the green beans and whatever else you decide to throw into the mix. But those are kind of the standard American dishes. Yep. He just... his dementia, he just couldn't recognize it. Oh. And so it wasn't enjoyable for him that year at all.
He didn't enjoy it anyway, even though he didn't
he just wanted to leave, and he didn't understand why everyone was there. And I think it might have been too many people. So that can be rough. But this year, for me personally, I have no official Thanksgiving meal plans today at all.
Oh.
My focus is getting ready for Open Studios, which starts tomorrow, and I have a lot of work to do that for my space. I've done Open Studios twice, but in a completely different space, and so it's a lot of work getting ready. So I'm hoping my friends will come and visit me and bring me food.
You heard it here.
That's right.
Head over to Shelley's house.
But I had a visit from my two kids a couple weeks ago, and we all decided, let's just have our own little Thanksgiving now. And so we just made a nice meal. And
you had a Canadian Thanksgiving.
Called it Thanksgiving. That's right. We celebrated with Canada this year.
Well, that's good. It doesn't have to be today, does it?
Yeah, no.
I mean, there are people who are working today.
Well, and, you know, when national holidays are declared, it's hard not to recognize the capitalist connection.
Mm-hmm. Interestingly enough, all that stuff that we think of as traditional American foods on this holiday, mostly 50s and 60s, is when they
became popular.
Cranberries. Nobody ate cranberries. Nobody ate cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
Turkey was because of, Swanson's.
Yeah. I mean, the politics of food.
Those massive Franken turkeys, where they bred them to have huge breasts.
Oh, and then there's turducken.
Oh, dear.
Oh, my goodness. Has anyone call in if you've ever experienced turducken personally?
Have you ever eaten a turducken?
I'm looking forward to roasting some potatoes. I really love roasted potatoes.
There. See?
It's easy to do, and I'll just feel so, yummy just eating my roasted potatoes.
Well, is no one else there? Is anyone helping you today?
Well, I have my sweetie.
Yeah.
Jose is going to be there. He's there right now helping me get ready for Open Studios.
Well, there you are.
Putting things away and cleaning things up.
So we're thankful for Jose.
I am so thankful for Jose in my life. Yes, makes my life... I had this really beautiful recognition just last night. I mean, I periodically it pops up where I can say, wow, I'm really happy with this life I've created.
Yeah.
This is what I always dreamed of. When I was a kid, I wanted to live in a beautiful place and have art and music around me and live in a, different kind of environment than the normal, And that's where I am. And it's just, I'm so grateful and thankful to recognize that I was able to craft a beautiful life for myself.
Yeah.
And
good for you.
So I'm happy about that.
See, not everyone can say that. A lot of people have regrets when they're, past their middle age and they go, I didn't really want to do this. But, I too, I'm very thankful. Give us a call, 415-663-8492. Tell us what you're thankful for. And, my life, it couldn't really have worked out more perfectly for me.
Nice.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm blessed with many things, including love in my life, which is the saving grace above all.
Just to love and be loved in return. It is a beautiful thing.
It's, I'm very, very grateful for my wonderful life and could have no complaints about it all.
That's good.
And if we need a day to remember that, so be it. And to celebrate with good friends and family. What a wonderful thing to have friends around and people who can cook.
Yeah. And, just...
and to be able to afford it all.
If there's anyone out there who's listening right now who is feeling a little lonely and isolated, call somebody. Call a friend. They may not realize that you're sitting home alone on Thanksgiving.
Good idea.
Reach out. Let people know.
Or just go to Shelley's place.
Yeah, bring me some
with
food.
A
turkey. You can find me on the Point Reyes Studios, Open Studios map. There you go.
Open Studios this weekend?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's right.
Wow. That's big. How long are you open every day?
11 a.m. until 5 p.m. Yeah, and that's one of the things I'm up against in my space is that we've been really happy with low light conditions. We have a big bank of windows that let a lot of light in, but when the sun goes down, the light goes down.
Yeah.
and we've been okay with that, having kind of low light in the evening. But for Open Studios, that'll be challenging because about 5 o'clock, it's starting to get dark. Actually, by 4.
Yeah.
The light's getting low, so we're working with some clip lights and trying to make it work.
Creating a gallery.
Yeah, but it's fun. I'm actually enjoying the process of dialing in the space.
So we're hoping for big crowds this weekend. To lots of visitors coming to.
Well, and after I can't even imagine how people are coping who have lost everything. in the fires. And out here, we've all had to be dealing with all the smoke, the toxicity of the smoke out here. And so, come out here because it's beautiful right now. And if you haven't been able to breathe well and you've been surrounded by devastation, this would be a great place to come.
It is the most perfect day out there. There's beautiful clouds scudding through and blue sky in between, sunshine. It rained a little during the night, so everything's sort of damp. It's wonderful. There were flying ants this morning in my driveway coming out of the ground.
Absolutely magical. It all means good things.
It's all good things, and we have a lot to be thankful for, those of us who are fortunate enough to be able to live in this.
Oh, we got a caller at the last minute here.
Oh.
Caller, you are on the air. What's your name?
My name's David again.
David again.
I thought I would open the program for you, and now I will maybe close it out.
Great.
You mentioned a magic word, a word that I love a few minutes ago.
Okay.
Which is clouds, something that I'm thankful for, and I'll tell you how I think of it. I lived in Iceland for a little while, and for me, for the Icelanders, it's no thrill, but for me, seeing the Northern Lights was an amazing, amazing event. Just spectacular things. Just
hard to believe it's real, huh?
Yeah, it's like the best fireworks display you ever saw on steroids.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Oh,
well, it can be sort of ho hum, and then it can be just jaw droppingly spectacular. But the reason I think of clouds when I think of the Northern Lights is because, for me, seeing the Northern Lights was a thrill because I don't see them very often. And if I saw them all the time, if they were there every winter, it's the Northern Lights again. Okay, yeah, but you know what? I'm just involved in this, watching this series on TV, and I'll come out later if I have time, blah, blah, blah. And I think of clouds in that same general category. If we were in a place like maybe Saudi Arabia, Iraq, I don't know, wherever, and every once in a while these big puffy white things would come floating through the sky. They would be wonders. They would be miracles. They would be, oh my gosh, look, clouds. Wow. And, looking at almost anything we've got with fresh eyes can bring us a degree, sometimes greater or lesser, of thankfulness. And so I'm thankful for clouds and Northern Lights and KWMR and Let's Talk and
thank you, David.
Lots of other stuff.
Way to wrap it up, David. That was
very
awesome.
grateful for you, too. Don't take anything for granted. It's the takeaway. Thank you, David.
Good. Happy day.
Yes, have a good time. Well, that's it. That was Let's Talk for today. KWMR does not take a stand on any of the issues discussed on Let's Talk. Opinions expressed on this program are those of the hosts and callers and don't necessarily reflect the views of KWMR, its board of directors, underwriters, or members.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Speed reading. And
happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Back to Professor Cosmo for most of the rest of the evening. And yes, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Have a wonderful time. Drive carefully out there. And we'll see you next week.